Good morning, Thursday, don't know what date it is, 23rd maybe, of April 2020, live in Lanark. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. Here we go. Look at that. Look, somebody's been up here since yesterday with cans of cider. You can't see it down there, I don't think, but somebody's threw cans and bottles of Coke. It's disgusting. Right, good morning. Thursday, 23rd of April 2020. On a run with a wee dog. There's my wee Manny. Ralph. There he is. Morning, Paul. Hope you're well. Right. Okay, where are we at? We are at following the 12, stage 4. Stage 4 is in the process where we get a sponsor, we meet a mentor. So step 1, where we looked at our ordinary life, how it was boring, and how in order for the balance to be restored in that ordinary world, we had to really take a risk or it was going to collapse. Step 2 was where we have an inner nagging, a dream that needs to be fulfilled, that's pulling at us. Morning, Gordon. Okay, so you've not missed very much. We're on. So, step 1, ordinary world. It's where you realise that your life became kind of boring, unmanageable, and that you have to take a risk in order to bring the balance back into your world. You know, you've just became pretty stagnant in your pool of water that you have been inhabiting. Step 2 we went through was where we've got a calling, a dream perhaps that needs to be fulfilled. That might be anything. It might be, restoring an old car, or it might be starting a business. It doesn't necessarily have to be grandiose. It could just be something that ignites a passion within you. Yesterday we spoke about the refusal of the call, because that's when the subconscious and unconscious minds start to put up resistance, because it knows that when you make the jump, when you make the morning man, just going for a run before work as well. Brilliant, Paul. And there's Anne Crothers. I can't believe you're a granny, Anne. Saw that picture the other day there. And now, so yesterday we spoke about the refusal of the call and how the mind starts to throw up that you can't do it, and a lot of resistance. So we spoke about that. If you look back at yesterday, if you're playing catch up, great. If you're not, if you're on the boil and you've got your foot in the gas with this stuff and you're doing it, this is where in the journey we meet a mentor. Now, if you're into movies like I am, the mentor would be Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings. It could be Peter, Spider-Man's uncle. It could be Obi-Wan Kenobi. It could be Yoda. It could be every movie. Oh, Mr. Miyagi. That's my favourite. Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off, wax on. That guy, right? So a mentor doesn't necessarily have to be an external mentor. So in the fellowship, a mentor could be your sponsor, but each individual that's in the fellowship, that's gone through the programme, that's been where you've been before, that's led the way, that's went through the journey, could be a mentor as well, without actually having to be on the phone with them and become best mates. You just listen to them, and their wisdom or what they're saying to you makes sense, and it starts to resonate with you, right? So that could be a mentor. The mentor that I encourage people to get involved with, here we go, he's banging on about the Bible again, right? Bible bashing Ross, yes, right, is your higher power. It's your internal guide, and share a story with you. Love telling stories, right? This morning, woke up really early. Woke up about 20 past 4 this morning, and I kind of tossed and turned, and I went and I checked into my body, and I was like that, something going on with you here, big guy, right? Couldn't quite put my finger on it. There was a niggling, and I thought, right, I'm usually up about 20 past 5 anyway, and I thought, right, I'll have 20 minutes, I'll sit up in bed, put the pillows up and meditate. And I started meditating, deep belly meditating, getting into my breath. And I heard the voice, I heard the mentor, I heard that inner guidance. And I transcended almost, it felt as if I transcended all those feelings that were in my body, these negative feelings that were in my body. And I got to listen to that internal voice of direction. And it allowed me one thing. Whether what it was saying was real or no, I don't know, it could be a pile of nonsense. But what it got me to feel was connection. It restored something in me. It restored a connection in me that when I got up, I didn't want to, shout at the dog and stamp about the house or anything like that. Because that's how I was feeling. I was just feeling a wee bit kind of tetchy this morning, right? So the mentor for me, my mentor now, I have many, 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 many mentors. And a mentor doesn't have to be an old man in a grey beard. A mentor could be a young person, just making you remember your essence of adolescence, your essence of your 20s or 30s that you had forgotten. That it's you that's forgotten them. It's not actually went anywhere. You can take your mindset and gravitate back to that point at any time. Right, so this is where we would encourage you to meet a mentor. Right, so step 4 of Follow the 12 that I work with is where we incorporate step 2 and step 3 of the 12-step process. So step 2 is where we've came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity, and that we have made a decision to hand our life and our will over to God, right? Whatever God means, right? Just don't get caught up in that. Now, it's so I see that Stephen Lafferty's in there as well in the house. So it's almost like, well, what is that higher power in people? What is it? What could that mentor be? So if you look at what was it that Obi-Wan Kenobi taught Luke Skywalker? He taught him about the Force. What is the Force? Energy, a unified field of consciousness, right? So, like as I said, for me, the mentor that I have on access at any point, if my sponsor or my tutor or my coach isn't available for an appointment, I can just go inside and meditate and boom, I got it. But there again, following through, I saw Lizzie's name come up, and it's like, well, how do you identify with what that higher power is? So I was running this morning before I started this blog, and I'm not overweight, but I'm not a skint rabbit by any stretch of the imagination. And I was running up this hill, and it was like my mind was stopping and my body kept going. And rather than getting caught up in my mind, I allowed myself to go into my body, and I just disappeared. I completely vanished, right? So if you're into running or anything like that, or ultra marathons and super fitness stuff, you might be able to identify with that. So in that moment, that transient moment where there was nothing between me and the pain that my mind was experiencing, I then got a wee gift. I got a wee busted dopamine, I got a wee feel-good factor, and I was like that, right, there's a bit of mentorship for the day. So this is where you look round about in your environment for what could be your mentor. Now, it doesn't have to be an old man with a grey beard. It doesn't have to be Gandalf that comes knocking on Bilbo's Baggins' door. It doesn't have to be Morpheus or Yoda, but it can be anything. But we have to, at this stage in the journey, this is where we start to incorporate the need for mentorship, for something other than ourselves, because quite simply, the voyage of self-discovery, that if you're doing these steps that you're going to go on, I absolutely hate when somebody says to me, oh, trust me. Right, but I'm going to say that. Trust me here. I've watched people go through this. I've went through it myself. You've got another 8 stages to go. There's a reason why the steps are set up the way that they're set up. So my suggestion to you would be, this is where you start to look for a mentor. You've refused the call yesterday. you're saying, I'm not doing it, I'm not going to change it, it's going to be too painful, it's going to mean too many people are going to get hurt if I make these decisions. It means that X, Y and Z, I'll just keep going the way it's going, even although the way that things are going is absolutely killing you emotionally, spiritually, physically and financially, right? So call in the help, get yourself a mentor, whatever that mentor might be. It could be learning, it could be a book. The mentor could be a book, it could be a book of wisdom, it could be anything at all. I forgot that as well. In times of struggle, I find myself just allowing myself to open. I've got 2 books, A Course in Miracles and the Bible. I've followed the Course in Miracles for about 20 years at least. 20 years at least. And in the last 10 years, I've started using the Bible as a point of reference, right? And there's always so much wisdom in that. And then as I'm starting to think about that, remember when Jonah got put in the belly of the whale? You know, that was in a lot of ways his refusal, like yesterday what we were talking about, his refusal for the call. So at this stage, we're looking at what is your mentor going to be, and I'm repeating myself, I'm just doing my best to get the message across to you that at this stage in the journey, you cannot do this alone, right? If you're willing to experience, okay, there could be a higher power, there could be something, then okay, humour me with that. If it's a book that you pick up, because if your life's been ordinary, it's been boring, okay, if you do not do something that's risk-taking in order to bring about the natural equilibrium of your world is going to collapse, right? You're on a one-way highway. It's not happy, right? Stage 2, you can hear the voices inside your head saying, I'd really like to start that wee business delivering coffee to pensioners, or, you know, whatever it might be, right? You've got this feeling inside you, but you don't have the resilience, you don't have somebody, you don't have a father figure to stand at your side and say, I'm behind you, I've got your back, son, right? Then step 3, we refuse the call. We put the brakes on, our subconscious mind turns around and goes, no, we can't do this, don't let him do that, because if we do that, the pretender that we've allowed him to be for all these years is going to lose his credibility and power. So we want to stay in command, we want to stay in control. So let's not make him go any further forward. We're moving into step 4. Step 4 is where we need a mentor, where we really need to find what that mentorship program looks like. And as I said to you, it could be a counsellor, it could be a coach, it could be a friend, it could be a book, it could be, and what I would encourage you to do is a higher power. Something greater than yourself. What is that? I don't know. Again, is there a God? I don't know. I believe in coincidences, I believe in synchronicity, and goodness, for me still to be here on this planet with the amount of stupid, dangerous things that I've done in my life, right, and the amount of car accidents and motorbike accidents that I've walked out of, okay, and dangerous situations that I've found myself in with really bad people, to have got out of them and still be here. There's something looking after me, and I don't know what that is. Could be aliens for all I know, but I respect it, and I value it, and I honour it. And this morning when I went inside and I meditated, and I thought I was going to have 20 minutes to meditate, Greedy Ross, 53 minutes. I went into the meditation at 5 o'clock this morning and thought, I'll do a wee 20 minutes before I got up, have a cup of tea. Yep, Greedy Ross, Indulgent Ross, indulged himself, 53 minutes. I was absolutely gone, and was listening to the voice, was listening to my internal guidance system, and even if what that was saying was a pile of wahoni, a pile of imaginary falafel, right, 100%, it cannot be taken away from it, that it allowed me to reconnect. And I think that that's probably the reason why I was feeling a wee bit funny when I woke up at 4:20 this morning. I felt a wee bit grouchy. I just didn't quite feel myself. And I think somewhere it was because I had broken I'd broken some bonding, I'd broken some connection. Maybe went into being Mr. Independent yesterday, and or indeed maybe felt a little bit dependent and didn't want to recognise that either, and somewhere was navigating between the two worlds. And I just had an uncomfortable feeling that I'm happy to report that has gone. I'm back on track, and I'm looking forward to getting up the road and getting my work started this morning. So have a look around you in your environment. There's somebody somewhere. Now, if that mentor was your father, if that mentor was your uncle, if that mentor was, for me it was my grandfather, right? My mentor was my grandfather, Alec Hislop, Old Sanny they called him, right? He's dead. He's been dead, goodness, well over 10 years. But I can still hear him. I can still smell him. And I've still got a lot of totems that belong to him. I've still got his pipe. I've still got his ashtray. I've still got his bonnet, his hat. And all I need to do is go and make the time and the space to connect with him. Now, that's not having a seance or playing a Ouija board or anything like that. It's just when I do that and I can shut down my external world and all the distractions, and I can reconnect with my ancestors, my grandfather. And well, there's another story. See that fox red Labrador? See that dog? See that wee guy there? Right? I did that. Here I am off blabbing and telling stories. 2 years ago, I got that thing for my birthday where it was like ancestry.com and it showed you your DNA or something like that, right? Got it. And then it came across with this little family tree thing. It's not really something I've ever been into, but I've got pictures of my grandfather, Alec. I've got pictures of his grandfather, no, his dad, which is my great-grandfather. Now, my grandfather and my great-grandfather were both gamekeepers for the late Lord Clydesmuir, right? And I saw the picture of my great-grandfather, and he was outside the house in Lochview. It was called in Braidwood, where I was brought up between the age of 3 and 10. And there he is, stood at the corner of the house with his +4s. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of short trousers, and he's got his socks tucked into him, and he's in his full gamekeeper regalia. And there he's got a fox red Labrador stood at the side of him. That was in the Friday night, and in the Saturday morning I'd bought him. And look at him, no collar, no lead, just walks by my side. Now, is that the reincarnation of my great-grandfather? No, not at all. But the projection that I've placed upon that dog allows me to reconnect with my great-grandfather. So that dog's a mentor to me. Now, the reason we need a mentor, I'm going to end on this. The reason that we need a mentor is because we will always gravitate towards the transmarginal depth of a significant other. We will always gravitate towards the transmarginal depths of a significant other. Now, predominantly that other person's been on the journey. It's been to the road of hell and back. It's been an alcoholic and come back to sobriety. It's been a drug addict and come back to sobriety. It started a business from scratch and became a millionaire. These people have done that. So when they started that, they didn't just start it from being a millionaire. They started with nothing, right? And it was like they were in a wee boat and they were having to crack through the ice, right? Now, if you're coming in behind them, the ice might have still thrown over, but it's not quite as hard to push your way through it. So if in somebody's mind, they've dug very deep and went to the transmarginal depths of their internal reality through pain and suffering, they've carved a way, so they know the path. So see if you're sitting with them. So for an example, I know nothing about golf, nothing at all about golf. I've never swung, what do you call it, a club, a stick, I don't know. I've never played golf in my life before. But if I wanted to learn about golf, the person that I would go to, morning Marcy, I did a wee video for you yesterday. Some of the questions she had asked me, rather than typing it and writing it out, I just did a wee video sitting on my chair in my living room. It's on there and I've uploaded it to YouTube, darling, right? So we will always gravitate towards the transmarginal depths of a significant other. I don't know anything at all about golf. So if I want to learn about golf, I have to get a mentor. Now, if I went and got Tiger Woods as a mentor, I'd probably end up back in the drinking, womanising, but nonetheless, let's put that joke to the side, right? Just by the mere merit of me sitting in Tiger Woods' company, right, and listening to him, would allow my internal world to gravitate towards the transmarginal depths of his mind and be held in there. Do you think I would learn more learning from Tiger Woods or learning from somebody that's got the same level of experience as myself? Right, there you go. So, if you're wanting to get that mentorship, it's always good to look at somebody. It doesn't have to be a real person, it can be a book. It can be a story of mythology full of mythicisms and all the rest of it. But this is the place where we really, really need to start. If you're taking this seriously, right, and you're like, okay, my life's no good, I've got a dream inside me, I want to put that down. You start thinking about putting it down and then the brakes come up and go, no, I'm not doing it. Right, there I'm at the crazy tree again, look. The third eye. The eye of Horus tree. I see it every morning. Right, so whatever it is, you've realised your life's boring, it's rubbish, it's over. Step 2, you've got a dream, you've got a call to adventure. Step 3, you put the brakes on. No, I'm not going there, I'm just staying in my comfort zone in my ordinary life. It's not that bad, really, it's not that bad. Right, step 4, start looking for a mentor at this time, right? Books, films, things, anything that's going to start giving you meaning, anything that's going to take you away and get you thinking. And look for somebody that's been there before you, that's walked the steps in front of you, because we will always gravitate towards the transmarginal depths of a significant other. Have a fantastic day, and thank you for tuning in. And I hope that these are helping you, really do. I know it's helping some people, because some people are pinging me past private messages, and they're actually getting in about it. Other folk are just like that, you know, whatever. And it's what are we doing tomorrow? Step 5. Great. Have a fantastic day. Blessings to all of you, and happy lockdown. Take care.